It's going to be all about blood and chocolate today. I strongly feel that we need menstrual leave. I strongly believe that women need menstrual leave. New moon for me. My breasts are a little fuller. My face is a little fuller. My eyes are like brighter. I have a lot of feminine, sexual, creative energy. I'm ovulating at this time. Excited to have you guys here today because we're going to be talking about something that has been very dear to my heart for a long time now. So if you follow me on Instagram, then you probably saw one of my stories 2 weeks ago about menstruation. Yes. It's going to be all about blood and chocolate today. So I'm super excited about that. All right. So if you followed me on Instagram, then of course you definitely noticed that we were talking about my views on menstruation about 2 weeks or so ago. I did a story and a reel on this because I had taken some time off to menstruate. And as crazy as that may sound, I think this is supposed to be super normal. This has to be a normal thing. There's no reason why in 2020, especially as you can see that the times are pushing us, right? We're entering into the age of Aquarius. I felt like we've already had this age of Aquarius upon us, but if you were doubting it, well, here you go, December 21st, here we come. But we are shifting into divine feminine energy, very strong divine feminine energy that has been masked for several years, but we're getting there, right? If the Rona has not taught you anything, we're definitely moving and shifting into a higher level of consciousness. And you know how the universe does. If it tells you and prompts you to do something once, twice, and you don't, a slap might make you listen, might make you make that shift. And we're getting slapped now so that we can make that shift. Everything happens for what? For us, not to us, for us and in our favor. Always, regardless of how you want to look at it. So here we are. And a couple weeks ago, I'm going through terrible menstrual cramps. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, I'm baking bread, you guys, by the way, if you don't know. Ooh. I'm actually not baking it. I'm warming our bread. And we'll get into that. But yeah, so I thought to myself, it's 2020. Why the hell do I literally have to figure out a way to tell my job and my work that, listen, this thing is going on. I don't think I can make it into the office. I strongly feel that we need menstrual leave. I strongly believe that women need menstrual leave. And I'm going to tell you why. Okay, women work with the lunar phase. Our cycles, our entire being works with the lunar phase, especially when we come into, like I said, womanhood, because there are phases. You're a child, you get into womanhood, then you graduate from womanhood into elderhood, and that comes with a whole lot of other beautiful, amazing things, right, in your life cycle. So in our womanhood cycle, we work, it's with the moon. We are on a lunar phase, 28 days of our cycle on a lunar phase for a reason, right? And when you get those cramps and you get that imbalance or whatever, even if your cycle is normal, I have a very, very regular cycle. The thing is, sometimes I get a lot of pain. And it's a reminder constantly to calm down, sit down, go inwards, and do the work. My moon sign is Sagittarius. So, and if you know anything about Sagittarius, we love adventure. We love seeking knowledge, constantly seeking knowledge that we like, that we care for, constantly seeking knowledge, and constantly giddy out there looking for adventure, right? So, that pause and that pain sometimes reminds me, oh, you do need to like take a break. Just wala meds, as you know, my Jamaican friends would say, wala meds, just relax. And in college, they knew, telling me to wala meds. It's like, girl, why would you meditate when you can be out there living? Right? But now I get it. My womanhood stages and growth have been like a little bit slower, and that's okay. Now I completely get it, and now I do obey, and I see the benefits of obeying and living within your moon cycle. It has so many benefits. So today we're going to go through the 4 stages of the moon cycle that I want to cover. You can look at this in many ways. I'm going from full moon to I'm going from the 2 axes. I'm going full moon, new moon, and then I'm going to look at the phases around that, right? So your luteal phase, and your follicular phase, your the new moon time, and then the full moon time. And I'm not using ovulation stage and menstruation phase as it comes to the moon, because there are other things involved. There are other things involved in terms of how that relates to the moon cycle, to the actual moon. Sorry. So without further ado, let's bake. Right, I have been fasting, right? So I've been doing these OMAD and every other day eating, just to reset my body and my stomach, to give it a rest. So I've done 2 full day fasts, and the other days in between the week I would eat once a day, and usually around dinner time I have a little dinner, right? As soon as I get back from work or on my way home, I'll grab something, and then so it's been working really good for my body so far, and I'm so thankful for it. I'll do a video on that, but it has taught me that my gift, it's not a diet, it's not necessarily a restraint thing, it's a gift to myself, right? The fast is the gift. The work itself is the gift to self. So anyways, we'll talk about that later on. But so this is my first meal of the day. I know. Let's wake and bake, okay? Although it's like pretty much way into supper now. It's probably, let's see. Oh yeah, it's like 6:30 right now. So let's have some food. So I warmed the bread, as you saw when I started, because I wanted it to be a little bit warm. I love French sourdough bread. I absolutely love the taste of it, the crunch of it, everything. So it's really dark and warm. So I warmed that up in the oven. It's hot and nice. And then I made this crunchy, because it has some nuts in it, I made this crunchy peanut butter batter mix. And you guys, it's the best way to have like your bread and chocolate. I grew up in Cameroon, as you guys know, in Yaoundé, and a big staple of ours is having bread and chocolate, French bread, like a baguette, having the baguette and chocolate, and then having a chocolate drink in the morning. This is like a staple breakfast for most Cameroonian kids, for sure. So I'm definitely having a little mix of this. I'm doing an American style. I love peanut butter and jelly. I don't eat it that much because I don't eat bread that much. So I'm breaking my fast with a little bit of sourdough bread, which is kinder on my stomach, much kinder on my stomach. And I'm going to have a little bit of strawberry jam or jelly. You can make this yourself at home. I bought mine. And then I'm definitely mixing my chocolate with peanut butter crunch. So I have a hazelnut chocolate spread and a peanut butter mixed up together in my warming bowl. You guys know I switched to glass, to all glass cookware, but my warming bowl for my chocolates and stuff is still going to be like a stainless steel / copper. Woo! It's so good. let's get back into it. So I'm going to be eating and talking to you guys about why I'm doing this, right? So, like I said in the beginning, I am a strong believer in the fact that we better obey the divine feminine energy that is bursting in. Or, you know, it's going, either way it's coming through, it's here, fruit flies. And if not, then, you know, it's still gonna come. But my thing is, hold on. Du pain au chocolat. Yeah. Here's how to treat yourself. Du pain au chocolat. So good. I mean, I wonder how to say bread and chocolate in Igbo. If you know how to say bread and chocolate in Igbo, drop it in the comment section, please. I really want to know. Let's talk about why it's so important for women to be allowed to work with their cycle. So, as you guys know, the moon goes to a 28-day cycle. That is the exact same time on average that the average woman goes through her cycle too, right? A healthy cycle is usually 28 days as well. So it does match up to the cycle of the moon. Now, here's the thing. Some people have the school of thought that there's one standard moon cycle and that everything else is off sync, off balance. That's complete bullocks. I have to be honest. I think people go through different cycles of the moon. Some women cycle ways that are different from others. And I'm not talking about dates. I'm just talking about the actual cycles that they have in conjunction with the moon. It's not irregular because someone maybe starts this way instead of going anti-clockwise, or someone starts, anti-clockwise instead of clockwise or whatnot. So the moon, how do I put it? There are different types of, moon phases, right? So primarily though, you have the full moon and the new moon. And the new moon in its newest form goes completely dark, right? It's a dark moon, you see nothing. That's as new as the new moon gets. The full moon is super, super full. It's as full as all you see is like a sun in the night, right? That's the full moon. And in Igbo culture, we always have like games and theater performances, dances, and all fun stuff. Different tribes and different nations, different countries. Igbo nation, that's what Igbo people do, right? When the new moon is out, there are so many festivities because the night is just bright and you can't miss up an opportunity for something festive, especially back then, right? And the waxing phase of the moon is when the moon is going from a new moon, from completely brand new dark moon, working its way up to the full moon, right? And then the waning phase of the moon is when the moon is going from its fullest phase and slowly going low, crescent, all the way until a blank, dark moon. That's the new moon, right? And maybe also this is psychologically, but that's how I put the full moon up first because I menstruate in the full moon, right? And I ovulate with the new moon, okay? So that's how it's been going for me. the standard that makes me a red witch, so to speak, right? And I'll go through all of this in another video, and our members are already have a video up on highlighting that a little bit. Well, our members got a video on blood magic. Lucky them. But yeah, so if you want to find out more esoteric, interesting stuff that I will not share on the channel, you definitely want to join our Patreon, or you want to join our membership. You can just join our membership right here below. There's a link there as well. So join our membership and you can get that exclusive content, $1.99 all the way to $2.99. I know, I'm making it super affordable for everyone. So yeah. So that's basically how it is, right? I menstruate at the full moon right now, right? That's my cycle right now. People's cycles change. Some women, and they say most women menstruate at the new moon, when the moon is like at its darkest and going all the way doing a different cycle, right? So that's why I'm putting it there. So women who menstruate on the new moon probably will put the new moon right here, like the new moon is a start, and from the new moon then everything happens. I usually put mine the full moon first, and from the full moon everything else, right? Because the full moon for me is like when I release, and then boom, I start afresh again, everything, and I go to the new moon, and then boom, I go back to the full moon. And that's how my cycle works, right? And some women have it the other way around, right? Oh, actually most women, white witches, that's what you call them, have it the other way around, where they menstruate at the new moon and they ovulate at their full moon. I'm clearly the opposite. Now there are two other phases there that I'm only going to cover in another video. I'm going to think about doing it either for you guys or for the Patreon. I might do it for you guys though. I might do that full on. If you guys care to find out what those full phases of the menstrual cycle are, in terms of the lunar cycle, let me know, and I will do a video breaking all that down. So just to make it like really simple and visualize it for you, I want to go with that, right? So you got full, you got new, you got the waxing to the big, and the waning to the dark and new. So these phases are pretty crucial in our lives, and depending on how you sense things, because when I was just getting into womanhood in my teens, I literally could feel someone walking a mile away. I could hear very sharply, like when I was on my menstruation, during my menstruation time, especially just leading up to it, right? Going to the around the waning time, all the way, to my new moon stage, like I would literally be able to sense everything. But when I was like on my period, I would literally feel every single thing. I was incredibly sensitive. Like I could feel every energy. I will tell you what someone downstairs was saying. I will tell you how I feel I'm feeling the floor vibrating. Someone is coming. I kid you not. I know my sister used to be so irritated by that. People around me used to be so irritated because during this time I would be incredibly sensitive, and I'll also be in a lot of pain sometimes. But there is nothing that I wouldn't feel. I felt everything. And I can imagine if someone doesn't understand that, like how they could consider you like, oh my God, how did you know this? Or how can you feel that? These people used to ask me like, how do you feel that? Are you the only one with a period? What? You felt that? I felt everything, right? Every single thing. I'll be like, no, walk like this. And I feel when someone is coming. I feel breath. I hear breath. Every single thing. I was incredibly sensitive. Now it's not that bad. And let me tell you why women in these 4 phases. And I'm going to use myself an example. So you go by your cycle and how your cycle works. Understand that it's not just the, white witch and red witch, or the white moon cycle and the red moon cycle. There are other moon cycles for women, right? So if you don't menstruate during these times, maybe you menstruate during the one of the waxing moon phases, or maybe one of the waning moon phases, and there are names for that too. And I can explain what that entails for you as a woman, right? And how you deal with nature. When I say witch, is how you deal with the elements around you, how you relate with nature, because indeed our bodies are a part of nature. We are not without, we are not apart, we are within it, and a full part of it. So when you are in your new moon phase, right? Your new moon phase, for some people, right, for me especially, is a time where I ovulate, right? So even if you're not like me, where you're on a red moon, maybe if you're a white moon, then just apply that to your cycle. But when it's new moon, for me, I am ovulating. And what that means for me is I feel extremely beautiful. My breasts are a little fuller. My face is a little fuller. My eyes are like brighter. My lips are fuller. My smile is wider. I just feel a lot more beautiful. I have a lot of feminine, sexual, creative energy. I'm ovulating at this time. There is a wetness down there. There is the way my hips move and stuff like that. Like I'm ovulating right now, right? So very soon I can, give life. I can make life within me, right? I am full of that creative sexual energy and I'm powerful in it. And for a woman, this is a fantastic time to go out there and do talks. So if you have a talk you have to give and you're wondering, when am I going to schedule this talk that I have to give, this TED talk or this presentation at my office? Oh, I know. I'm going to schedule it during the new moon phase where I'll be ovulating, because I know that I'm literally going to be glowing. I'm going to be out there. My voice, my throat chakra, everything is easily activated at this time because I'm there, I can harness and use this energy and transmute this energy into other things. I can create magnificent slides and presentations. If I'm an artist, I create good music. I create good artwork. If I'm a scientist, I am, eager to explore more, to pitch new ideas to people. At that ovulation stage, it's a wonderful stage for you to be out there. If you're a vlogger, a YouTuber, make your most expressive, most bombastic content during that time. So it's a time that allows you to do these things during your ovulation stage, right? And then from your ovulation stage, you're going back into the full moon cycle, right? So what's happening? The moon is now getting fuller, which means the moon is waxing. Waxing is getting fuller, waning is getting smaller. So now in the new moon stage, now after I'm ovulating or whatever, and then I get into that the luteal phase, right? I get into the luteal phase. I'm going up to the full moon, and so at the luteal phase I'm slowly now going within myself, right? Because we're getting fuller and fuller. The moon is getting fuller and fuller, and I'm getting in and into myself because I'm I'm on the red moon cycle. If I was in the reverse, it would have been the reverse for me, right? So as it's getting into that where I'm going to be menstruating, I'm getting inner, inside, I get more sensitive, breast gets a little more sensitive, nipples get fuller and more sensitive, everything is sensitive, and I'm just like feeling everything, and I'm just like, whoo, right? At the peak of it, when, then the walls start breaking down and that blood starts flowing, and once my pants are full, the moon is full, right? So at that stage, during the luteal phase is what you call it, right? During that luteal phase, right? What you're doing, and the luteal phase is really that, for me, that wax inside of the moon. And it's a time where I'm slowly going from super energetic to okay, now go within. Nature, life force, the universe, the moon is telling you it's time to go within. That's why you're getting sensitive to every single thing that is outside of you, because you are to go within. And sometimes if you treat yourself well and you listen, most of the time you have a smooth sailing period, right? So you're not overindulging in anything. You've eaten clean. You've gotten rid of sugars. you've eaten clean, you've gotten rid of sugars, you've calmed down from your high, you're respecting your new phase, you're listening, you're prepping for that fullness. So what you're doing is, it's probably a better time to take stock, right? It is a better time to, all right, this is what have I accomplished so far. Look back, I have this many more days to the releasing phase in the full moon stage. So right from the new moon, this is the things that I planted. I said I was going to do in true Igbo style. As you are talking, you are doing. So you release and you put those intentions in the new moon. Now you're going into a few days more into the full moon. What have you done? It's you're taking stock, you're looking, you're analyzing. It's your analytic stage. So if you're at work, it's a time to go within to say, all right, here are my projects. Like, so I'm in marketing and I'm working. All right, I had these, projects stayed out. I had these ads running here, ads running there, here, social media posts, content over there. Let's look at everything. Let's see how everything's performing. Let's see how everything is doing. You can get that analytic, right? And make sure that we are on the right track to keep going, and then you keep going, but you're monitoring heavily. It's your analytic period, right? And then when you get into the full moon phase, for me, I'm menstruating now, right? And menstruating is telling you, girl, are you indoors? Are you inside? Are you together? Go within yourself, relax, time to rest. Time to rest. And in most cultures back then, yes, you could have the argument that they didn't have pads, they didn't have this, but God, they had cloth. Like, we were primitive, and earth creatures, but we're not that, out of it, we couldn't do anything because we're bleeding. No, there are things we could have done. We're still innovative. We're still super innovative. Innovation did not start today. Necessity is the mother of innovation. So they had ways of dealing with that and moving around even with their periods. But it was tradition to, if you even look at the lives of women in the Bible, I know nobody pays attention to that, but if you really study the lives of women in the Bible, and forget the patriarchal, Saul did this, no, God, look at what Saul's wife was doing. If you analyze what the women in the Bible were doing around that time, you'll see that they communed together, they stayed in, they came together, women whose cycles were in sync, they bled together, they had huts that they took care of themselves and whatnot. And that cycle, that time is a time for you to just release. And so your full moon rituals does include that releasing energy and stuff like that, right? And for some people, it's also a great time for blood magic. So if you're part of our membership, I'm going to go give you an overview of what that entails, right? So whatever the case may be, that is what that time is for. And when you disobey that, right, when you're not preparing for it, you're eating whatever you want, you're doing whatever you want, you're wilding out, you're whatever, you're stressing out, your kids are on your case, blah blah blah, and you don't have a plan for this time, and you're forced to go to work, and you're in work in pain, bloating, crying, and some people bleeding profusely, breaking out, just in turmoil and just in total confusion and a mess. And this affects a lot of women, right? From a tiny scale like me, who has a very regular cycle but sometimes painful periods, right, to women who have gotten to the point where their cycle not irregular out of stress with so many things. So I say again, why the hell in 2020 are you not allowing women to take at least 2 days of their period to rest? We need paid period leaves, and this is not unheard of because there are some countries that are already doing that. Shout out to Zambia. I like to highlight the African country that's currently doing this. Yeah, shout out to you. You guys are on it. And then from that new moon phase, you're now going into what time? The waning. So the moon is going smaller, right? And smaller from the full moon all the way now going down to the new moon. So that phase is like the follicular phase, right? And at that phase, that's after you've shed, the testosterone is getting ginger. Melinda. Your testosterone is getting gingered. So like you're feeling strong after a while. Yeah, okay, what's urge coming back? Yeah. And at this point is the best time to just be out, right? It's the best time to be out there. Work out as much as you want. Execute as much as you want, because you've already gotten to that point where you've released, right? You've released everything during the full moon, and now you're like going in. Anything you want to do, you're like on it, right? Testosterone level is high. It's a good time to just like be out there and let your sun shine. So I'm a Taurus, right? And that's like boom, right? So let your sun shine, let that self be out there. So it is important for women, and you can really go deep and delve deep into the characteristics and things that are great for these different phases of the moon, right? And when you delve into that, you realize that, man, there's so much I'm missing and so much I can accomplish if I really respect this cycle and work with this. If I really work with my cycle. So in that sense, what you do is you track how you feel. I have a great app called Stardust. I love it. Sponsor a girl. Sponsor me. I love you guys. So there's so many other apps, by the way, you guys, but this is the one I love. And you track and you say, how are you feeling today? Oh, I'm feeling very energetic. Oh my God, I'm feeling like super horny. Lord God, I'm feeling very stressed right now. Oh God, I'm feeling very angry for the past 2 days. Lord, I'm feeling so happy for the past 24 hours. What the hell? And if you start tracking and recording, you see that after, let's say, a full 6 months, you can now see a full track record and be like, okay, this is, when you look at the analytics of what you've been feeling all through for these 6 months, you're like, oh my God, that means maybe on the 21st of every month, I usually feel this way. That's crazy. What does this mean? If I'm always angry at the 21st of every month or around that period, I'm always angry, maybe any important thing I want to do, I'm just not going to do it then. Because maybe my body and my hormones and the cycle of the earth at that point does not favor me to do certain things. And if you're like, oh my God, I feel so smart and energetic and like I can take over the world every first week of the month, maybe I should be planning like everything that requires so much energy out of me during that time. So this is what I mean by the importance of how women work with that 28-day lunar cycle, and for the universe to give this gift to us and tell us a roadmap of how to use your body as a woman in her prime, from your teens all the way to 50s, right? This is a gift, a clock, an agenda, a tracker for everything you want to do in life, a cheat sheet. Like, here it is. This is when you know this about yourself. Go forth and use it to make decisions that would amplify and better your life and make you attain your highest self as much as you can right here, right? So, it's something that I'm working on, and I want you guys to work on that with me. And I don't know if I told you and I mentioned this, but yeah, we're going to start up moon circles, like a little moon club for girls of the soul tribe, for women in the tribe. And men, honestly, if you are female identifying, come through. And if you're just curious, yeah, come through, okay? We're going to have moon circles in the membership, and if there are enough of us, we'll be doing this literally every single month, and it can go from doing it once a month. You guys choose either the full moon or the new moon, and then it can go to twice depending on how many people we are. We can now start doing full and new and like tracking this and talking about the different things, how we're feeling, and how we can help each other attain, get to where we need to go to. So I'm super excited about that. But yeah, so this brings me again to my point, which is please, I don't know where in the government you work, anybody who watches this, if you work within the government and whatnot, you work within a system that allows you to have the power to do these things, do it. If you work in a school system and maybe your school is a private school, you say, any young girl in this school who reaches the age of 13, you definitely have 1 day or 2 days You know, even one day is great, right? Where you don't need to come to the school on the first day of your full first day of your period, or the second day of your period, whichever one requires your body, whichever time your body requires you to like stay home. You're going to be Superwoman in my book. You're going to be Superwoman in the book of the universe. And trust me, those women are going to thank you for it. You're bettering their lives, period. Like, give women the choice of obeying their bodies, obeying their cycles. When their cycles say, stay the hell home, let them not be punished for it. Don't make them have to fail exams for it. No, let them come the next day and write it. You know what I mean? Let them take a day off work and not die. They'll come back tomorrow. Don't be there. Don't be in the office tomorrow. Chill. You know? Like, let the girl, like, if you don't know what she's suffering from, anemia, whatever, like, let her obey and not be punished for disobeying, you know. I wouldn't say punished, but however you want to say it, say it. I feel like everything in the universe happens in our favor. So I don't want to use that word punished. But when you disobey, the universe will keep pushing and pushing the same thing until you finally like obey. I'm like, oh, okay. You know, because if the universe does this and you don't listen, well, it's gonna do this. It's not punishing you, but it's actually saying, listen! That's all. It's gonna pay attention. That's it. Meanwhile, this bread is so good. Le pain au chocolat, si j'adore. Delicieuse. Tastes so good. On a todo. Have a little bit. You want some? Yeah. Until next week, I've been your host, Chichimambo, for Pop Salt and Pow Culture. Please don't forget to subscribe if you have not. You want more content like this, or even better content. Not better, but you know, if you want more content like this and you want the exclusive content and topics that you want to learn more about in terms of African spirituality, travel, and wellness, join our membership or join our Patreon. I love you. Bye. Bye. Bye.